Well, it's that time again. Um, well, actually what I wanted to talk a little bit about was Mother's Day. I know it's over and everything, but I was just thinking about how Mother's Days go, and mine was kind of mixed up this year because we're in the middle, our house is being packed and everything, but every year my kids ask me, what do you want for Mother's Day? And they do the same thing for my birthday. What do you want for your birthday or Mother's Day? And I always give them the same answer. I just want a clean house and happy kids. And they always think, oh, what can we buy you? What kind of nice things can we buy you? But really, I really do just want a clean house and happy kids. And I just think, like, I have a whole year where I'm telling kids, get up, get your rooms clean, do this, do that, and I'm always on their case about getting things done. And I don't really get that break. So Mother's Day to me would be nice to have one day where I don't have to tell my kids to get the house clean or do any other chores, but they still do them. That would be really good. And maybe that they do all the cooking and I don't have to think of something. You know how hard it is day after day after day trying to think of something to fix for dinner. And so it'd be pretty nice to not have to worry about that for one complete day. And then to have your kids not argue. Not at all. They're just silent little golden angels. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Anyways, probably an unrealistic expectation, but yeah, that's what I always want for Mother's Day. Well, anyways, the last time I talked about, before this, I talked about Gary being born, and he turned 18 yesterday. And if you remember, I told you that I had 5 days in the hospital of trying to stop labor because he was coming early, and all the drugs I was on and how awful and hard that was on me. But my hair's in my face. Anyways, I was going to tell you what happened because 2 years and 3 days later, my daughter Amelia was born. And so on May 17th, she will be 16 years old. And I was going to... Now you can believe this or you cannot, or you can think I'm a crazy woman or whatever. I don't care, but I'll just tell you what happened. So after I was in labor with Gary for those 5 days, and I was miserable and drugged up, and you can imagine how you feel about that point. It's like, I am not doing this again. I don't care. It was like, I am never going to have another baby again. So I go in to deliver Gary, and I'm very happy about that. And I have Gary, and I'm, he's healthy, which is shocking, and we're just happy about that. And I remember I was sitting there, and the doctor was kind of doing the stitch up type things, and I remember looking over. I was looking over to the side of the room, and there was this woman standing there, and she was just standing there. She had this long, beautiful hair, and she was just standing there looking at me. Now, you have to realize that nobody else seen her. It was just me. But she was standing there, and I just knew that this was my Amelia, and I think she was just there to tell me she wanted to come be part of my family. And I was like, because I didn't want to do this again. It was so hard. But I could just feel her, I don't know, it's just kind of her strength of letting me know how bad she wanted to be part of our family. And so I remember right then and there saying, okay, I'll get you here. Well, obviously, 2 years and 3 days later, she was born. And her being in labor with her was pretty good. Once they took my stitch out, I went into labor, and there she was. And I remember I was so excited because she was my first baby girl that is actually loaded with dark brown hair, and that was cool. Bald babies are great because bald babies are quick, easy cleanup after they're eating. You just wash their whole head. But little babies with lots of hair, they're so cute. Anyways, I was very happy to have her join our family, and she's just a sweet, sweet girl, and she hates being tall. She's 5'10", but she's absolutely gorgeous, and I tell her that all the time. I'm glad to have her in our home. Well, anyways, when she was born, I was going to tell you that the funniest thing, she was about the happiest baby I've ever seen. She smiled so early, and she'd just look into my eyes, and I just felt like she was always saying, "Thank you, Mom, thank you." So you'll never know what I went through, but I'm glad she's in our family. The other thing that's interesting is that May 16th is coming up, and it is my absolute favorite day of the year. I have no idea why. I'm expecting that one of these years something outstanding is going to happen in my life. Like, I don't know what, but something wonderful is going to happen. So maybe it's this year. It'll be shocking if it is. Maybe not. Maybe it's in the future. But May 16th, just the sound of it is beautiful to me. So anyways, I guess that's all I have to tell you about today. And I hope y'all have a great day. And I'm going to eat something yummy. So till later. Goodbye.